Pleasure to have you join us this morning. Today is Thursday, this 18th day of September 2025. You're welcome to Signature Morning on Signature TV. Now, Lillian, how are you today?
I'm very well, Uche. Good morning.
Good morning. I hope you had a good night rest.
Yes, I did.
And you're ready for today. We have a lot today. We have a lot to do this morning. I mean, one of the biggest political stories making the rounds is the return of River State Governor, Governor Fubara, back in office.
Kudos
after 6 months.
The expectations are here, and everybody's clamoring for, Fubara's return, and I know that they are happy, and we hope that he does well with them this time around.
Yes. Well, thankfully, we'll be having a lot of conversations around that on the show this morning. So make sure to stay tuned and join in our conversation. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha.
And I am Lillian Wali. Coming up next is our newspaper headlines and review. Just stay with us. Welcome back. Now let's take a look at the headlines on the newspaper. Here we have Vanguard. Excitement as Tinubu ends emergency rule in Rivers. Restores Fubara, deputy and lawmakers. Says peace has returned. Deputy governor returns. Residents await governor. Iba says Wike hails Tinubu for saving Rivers. Pandef calls for sober reflection. Roll out drums for celebration. INC urges residents. Tinubu must apologize for Rivers overreach, says PDP. Fubara's next move unclear. Rivers APC woos governor with top offer. Iba's aides protest unpaid allowances. Government house is very calm. Ibikyo Wubo says, and which is Iba's aide, and Iba's date with history. That's on page 5 on the Vanguard newspaper.
FG pays out 330 billion naira cash transfers to poor Nigerians, says Edun on page 19. And we have NECO 2025, Kano tops national performance chart as Governor Yusuf's education reforms bear fruit.
We stand by our statement on Dapman, the Dangote refinery says. And on the aviation story, Nigeria to receive first dry lease after almost 20 years, says Keamo.
4 states worst hit by ozone layer radiation. We have 60.26% of candidates score credit passes in English, maths. NECO releases results.
And on the Guardian newspaper, doubts, uncertainty in Rivers. In Rivers power tussle as Fubara returns.
Dapman, Dangote bicker over diversion allegation. 1.5 trillion naira subsidy demands.
And Ondo poll, Supreme Court dismisses appeal against Ayeda Tiwa's victory. And World Patient Safety Day, LASG bemoans wastage in healthcare delivery.
FG says 330 billion naira disbursed in cash transfers to poor households on news page 5. And we have Anambra Guba, play by rules, Ohaneze tells Soludo, Okachuku Ekunife.
Traders count losses as UBA FIRS mourns staff loss in Lagos fire. And NECA urges strategic monetary policy easing as IMPI projects 17% inflation by year end.
Now on the Nigerian Tribune, we have Rivers emergency rule. Tinubu returns Fubara after 6 months suspension. Says over 40 cases were instituted against the proclamation. Mixed reactions in Rivers on page 3.
Saudi authorities free 3 Nigerian pilgrims arrested for drug trafficking. That's on page 15. And gunmen on motorbikes storm baptism ceremony in Niger Republic, kill 22.
I am not joining ADC, says Adeleke. MBS reports proof of our investment in agriculture, says Oyebanji on page 24.
2027, despite endorsement, Tinubu must emerge at convention. Yowagda, APC national chairman, says, denies INEC's claim of early campaigns, says ADC, not an organized opposition.
On the Daily Independent, we have, on the Blueprint newspaper. On the Blueprint newspaper, after Rivers emergency regime, Let peace drive your actions, Tinubu tells Fubara lawmakers. Hail stakeholders' understanding of extraordinary measures. Wike urges peace. Mixed reactions trail Iba's 6-month tenure. COP demands transparency, accountability on page 6.
FG unveils $3.14 billion FAO agri-investment scheme to boost food security. And World Athletics Championship, Nathaniel zooms into 400mm final after 38-year wait.
Now, on the Daily Times newspaper, we have questions on negligence raised as fire exposes UBA's fatal safety gaps on page 10.
And Keyamo says over 95% Nigerians fly foreign airlines in absence of national carrier.
Insecurity, 420 plateau communities attacked in 24 years, says report.
84.26% students score above 5 credits at SNACO releases 2025 SSCE results. In Nigeria, one of the biggest beneficiaries of Brexit, says UK envoy.
Issues as democratic governance returns to Rivers State today on page 8. And finally, on the Daily Times, 24.6 trillion naira pension, 3.3 trillion naira insurance assets demand tougher safeguards stakeholders. All right, and that's the much we can take on the Daily Times newspaper and on our newspaper headlines this morning. And we're moving over to our review, as always, with Chris Maduka this morning. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Uche. Good morning, Lilian.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, the world, and welcome to another day on Signature TV newspaper headline and review.
Of course.
On the headlines today, we have a lot, particularly about Rivers State. Excitement in Rivers State as emergency rule ends. We have doubts, uncertainties in Rivers. You know, a lot of angles.
I agree with you. I agree with you. It's just that for me, the people of Rivers State, the objective people of Rivers State, the good-minded people who are ordinary citizens living their life, have mixed feeling of, they told us our governor was suspended. They gave us a sole administrator who came and solely administered Rivers State for 6 months, good or bad. And the man who is democratically elected is supposed to resume office this morning. And that calls for excitement. And that calls for either, some people are indifferent. Some people have said, well, welcome Fubara. Some people have said, so, returning. I made a joke yesterday. Somebody said, if a telephone is returned without the SIM card, and it has to do with, they say Fubara's name is SIM. And I said, Nigerians are creative, some in the negative anyway. But I now said, what if you say excitement? What has changed? Some people describe what happened in Rivers State as state capture. Who is going to audit the account of Rivers State for 6 months? These questions bother me. You know, going on in my mind as I talk about it, can illegality begot legality? There's no how you dress a pig to become a dog. So the issue has been done, and the president stepped in his wisdom and his position as the final arbiter and the man in charge of the country. But every politician will always use every opportunity they find, which the Nigerian president is a sagacious one. An opportunity came in Rivers State, and the man was like, let me not do so that they will say I am. But it didn't linger. I'm sure, and I will say he was forced to use this opportunity to feather his nest. And the one thing about the River State, that the River State has been at the east still, the golden geese that lays the golden egg. Every Nigerian political party will want to capture River State. Everybody wants a share of what's going on in River State. Now, when this issue was starting, I made a case. I said, I gave an allusion. Said, two monkeys find themselves in the field, and they stumble on two pieces of banana, two fingers of banana. As God will carry it, that's why we describe the banana as fingers. None of them can ever be equal. No, it can never. So they stumble on a banana, two banana fingers are like this. One is just a little above the other. Naturally made by God that way. And there were two monkeys, two banana. Two brother monkeys. As in the case of River State, Wike and Fubara are the two monkeys in my story. It's clear. I'm not just using it as an allusion. These two monkeys found banana, the treasure of Nigeria, River State, and they were just disposing things. This man is my godson, is a godfather. They are doing their own thing. Suddenly, while they were asleep, or while they awake, thinking about other things, the devil came and saw tar of disunity. They began to fight. My father told me, if you are fighting with your brother and you kill your brother, you have only given the outside enemies opportunity to come. Let me finish my banana story. So these two monkeys found the banana of the treasures of River State. It's just how to share it. One said is the godfather. Ordinarily, you should take the bigger portion. But the godson said, no. Now that I have been stepped into the position and they are aiming to be godfather soon or something, then we should make sure this banana is shared equal. And the godfather said, no, I made you the governor. I made you the governor. I single-handedly did this. I brought even the form to contest. I cleared the way. I used my influence to put you there. And they started on this fight. And people, the enemies, were laughing. They said, is these two people, are they mad or stupid or something is wrong with them? Look at what the gold. It had enough. The green is so, the field is so green for them. What? People were thinking they were just, but you know, greed, avarice, it can make you blind. So he continued. They couldn't share the banana. They were fighting and a chimpanzee. You phonetic student, I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm pronouncing it in my core Igbo dialect. Chimpanzee found the two monkeys that could not share their two bananas, naturally given to them by God, or providence. Because if you bring God here, it might be overreaching. Whoever gave them that, whether they rigged it in to get the bananas, whether they did anything, but they were in control, and all the people have stayed away. Suddenly, you start hearing in my enemy camp, they are fighting. Oh, they cannot share. Maduka. When two people go stealing, they come back and they cannot share the loot, they kill themselves. That's the issues that came out of River State. Two people went to the election, came out. One said, one moved on and to a bigger level. One is staying at home. At least the one at home should be, getting things and be sharing with the man. And then we should be able to be reporting equally. And then he couldn't. The chimpanzee came and said, hey, two monkeys, what's your problem? They said, oh, that chimpanzee. We stumbled on two bananas in the field. But the godfather monkey said he will eat all. He will take the biggest one. And I said that since I'm at home, he did this, he did that. I served him very well, and then I should take the bigger one. Let him take the smaller one. After all, he'll be eating this banana before me. All of them had logical up. But they were reporting to the wrong person. The wrong person is the chimpanzee who has come to settle the issue of banana for. Meanwhile, what is what is hungering the two monkeys is also hungering the chimpanzee who came to settle. So they were playing into the hand of the enemy. Okay, the chimpanzee said, okay, give me the banana. It shouldn't cost trouble. I will share it for you. They were watching. We are giving attention to River State today, so don't worry. the chimpanzee peeled the banana. And the first one that was big, he peeled it and cut it into his mouth to the point that even the one that was smaller before became bigger. And he showed the two monkeys. He said, which one now? He said, hey, now this one is bigger now. So it's okay. He cut this one so much that it became smaller than this one. And they were saying, I said this one. The chimpanzee continued to cut the banana and was eating. Or not that they cut and gave them. He cut and chop. He cut and chop until the bananas remained just this small. And he told them. And that was what President Tinubu, the Jagaban, the sagacious politician who has got to power in Nigeria and still fighting to come back second tenure did. He now said 2 monkeys of River State. Let me share it for you. I've shared. But remember that the sharer also have a portion. I cannot, after babysitting a baby, the baby is comfortably sitting and then I will fall down. The people say I'm stupid. That the man who is sharing have a share. So, since I've shared now, what this small thing remains is the one that is my share. He put it in his mouth. And the other 2 monkeys swallowed saliva and went home empty. That is exactly what happened in River State. And kudos to them. If they've learned their lesson, because God knows have a way of replicating banana in River State. I mean, the next 1 month allocation of River State will be like a replicated banana. In fact, the genetically modified banana that yields in 1 month and everywhere resources. So, from all sides, the money they get from being the treasure island of Nigeria, their own federal allocation, so many things. The world looking into River State, where that is positioned at the bank of the ocean, the coast of Atlantic Ocean. They have the ports, they have so many things. They have scratched the ground in River State. You have the oil at every corner. They are inundated with riches. And that's why the world, Nigeria and the world has refused to leave them. Can you imagine somebody in such a house now start fighting and inviting the people who want to swallow their pressure to come and share? So the president said, no problem, I've shared the banana, let there be emergency rule. For 6 months, let me see whether you people will learn your lesson. At last, whatever they did, as far as I'm concerned, is playing into the hand of the enemy, because it has never settled the issue. They came back to status quo ante. According to the lawyers, I am not a learned gentleman, but I love what happened in River State because it can happen anywhere. But as a blacksmith that doesn't know how to make a metal gong, I should advise politicians in other places to look at the tail of the kite.
Well, speaking of politicians, on Anambra gubernatorial election, play by rules. Ohaneze tells Soludo, Ukachukwu and Ekunife.
Which rules? Rules set by who? Is it rules of what to say and what not to say? Nigerian politicians have gone gaga. And then the ones who are setting the rules, and it's Ohaneze that will set the rules. Where is INEC? Who organizes election in Nigeria? Where are the political parties? Who are their chairmen and their ESCOs? Nigeria is a confusion island. In Ohaneze that is asking them to set rules, does Ohaneze have rules? Have they quite organized themselves so well that they can now sit there as elders of Ohaneze, the think tank, and say, hey, hey, hey. Have they forgotten that if there is no 10 at home, if 10 enters, he will vanish. And if you are the person who has the children who are so stubborn, and some of them are rich, some of them are, and you are a poor father, you are, hey, don't make noise, they will stuff your mouth with dollar. Make noise, you can make noise, you know. So what are they Ohaneze stepping in as political arbiter or as INEC of Nigeria? What are they telling them? As far as I'm concerned, Soludo, go to market, open your mouth. But remember, he has opened the mouth once to a woman, to wrong person. He opened to Ukachukwu. Maybe Ukachukwu is still thinking of what to do. You know, women don't think about what they do. There's a research that said the 8,000 words per second. That's what they reel out when men are struggling to do 10. 8,000 words. They must finish it. Even when it's finished, So he tried it with the he said, "Honor the Jebo Onubalaka." Mouth cannot visit the mouth and go home empty. He must visit the mouth. So Soludo met that is Iyom Ekunife. I'm not saying any of them has done the good thing, but they decide to cure madness with pepper, and then the Anambra is in the good news for bad. If I tell you I'm not ashamed, and that's what they would do. That they're going to pay me to live where I'm going to go there, down to Anambra to vote for this trash and nonsense. These are the people who have lost it. You don't lose your head while others are doing theirs. That's what makes you a leader I can follow. Not when a leader, when his children say, shut up, you say, shut up, you are idiot, and then you say, after you become, you assign the position and say you're a leader. So they've all told us, the Igbo says, let the air blow, let's see the nyash of chicken. This kind of, they push you to a level where we know your level of temperament. Why you can stay, you are staying in power. And you want to be governor of Anambra State, one of the most progressive states in Nigeria. That's where you want to rule. And then if you have a governor who is for the sake of campaign. There used to be things in the days of NPP days. You guys were not born then. When we did politics, when politics were politics, you can come and then throw tantrums. I remember those days. We were saying that somebody go and front an Hausa man and say he's the father of a governor who is there, and the podium, people were laughing. Things like that. We thought they've gone, but they have not seen anything. In your time at Gen Z, people we have seen Gen Z governors who want to rule in Gen Z era. And they have Gen Z's their mouth. They don't even know limit. That is it. That is the people we are talking about. So Haneze, we are there. If you want to stop fight, stop it before the push. Not when a lady is there, I say you are father, you start down. Somebody push me, I want to push back. You say, hey, now lie, I must push back.
All right, Chris, because of time, let's look at this. We've handled WAEC on this table, we've handled JAMB on this table, and now NECO is on the headlines. 60.26% of NECO candidates obtain 5 credit passes, and we have results of 3,878 candidates withheld over exam malpractice.
Was this CBT? Did they say they had it by CBT?
No.
If they had 60.26 candidates score credit pass in English and math, they have above pass mark. So for now, I don't think NECO has even joined the madness of CBT to get people to even lose English and math. If 60.5% of their candidate has gotten English and math, they are still, and I think NECO should keep it up and stay away from the madness that I have. That snake that has beaten JAMB and WAEC, they should learn from it. I think they're still doing very well. That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad result. So with you, because time is up, we stand by our statement. That's that man. We used to hear Ip Man, but this one seems like it's Dangote. That D there is the Dangote whatever. They say 1.1 trillion. Somebody was putting 1.5 trillion subsidy. Is it not? My father said that it's the medicine that the juju man who, if he doesn't want to do medicine for you, he will tell you to go and bring the intestine of an ant. Whoever is demanding 1.5 trillion subsidy from Dangote, is it that Dangote is the president of Nigeria? Is he NNPCL? What is Dangote is that somebody will open mouth in the name of union and say you subsidize you by one. How much is he making in his gain and all that? I don't know the details, but if that's what I'm thinking is what I'm thinking, it is not only insensitive, it's wickedness. And these are all they're doing to crumble Dangote so that we all be running around in that circle of doom.
Now I've seen that FG says 330 billion naira disbursed in cash transfers to poor households.
Where are you? No, that's the question.
Did you, Uche?
You mean this kind of money? You know what this means? If we are 240 million Nigerians, how much a million makes a billion? Are these politicians, is something wrong with them? If you share 1 million out of a billion, It's like, and if I'm right, I mean, 1 million people will get 1 million naira. Now, 330 billion was shared. It means that every Nigerian should have gotten $1 billion and above. And those who are the poor, they target, should have gotten maybe 10 million. Then some people, the way they rated, since they know the poor Nigerians, and they know what made them poor, and they brought out 330 billion to make them rich, and none of them is around where we are. Something is wrong.
Right. All right, Chris, let us end it here because of time. But thank you so much for your review this morning.
Thank you so much, Chris. I had wanted us to say something concerning the fire outbreak in UBA Bank. But
the fire, like I told you, when there is when air blow, you go see the nyash of chicken. It shows it's not just enough for the banks to build skyscrapers as their headquarters of banks in all the cities of Nigeria. It's also to make provisions of both the workers and customers in the bank. The viral video of how people were jumping from 6 stories, the 8th floor, the 10th floor, down, some of them jumping to death. Nigerians are wonderful people. Some of them formed shield. People were jumping into their hands. But that has shown Nigeria that we are we are just we are not at home. Nigeria is not at home. These are one of the banks in Nigeria that are declaring trillions and trillions of profit. But they don't have emergency exit in the banks they built. There's no plan. Then when there's emergency, people will jump in through it. And they cannot, you see, and people eventually died when the building didn't catch fire because of stampede. There were no control, nothing. There's no training, and there's nothing there's no security measures. These are things. So, as far as they're concerned, making money from poor Nigerians, smiling and declaring marvelous profits. But this is, like I said, the air blow. Almost all the banks have skyscrapers. They will start telling Nigerians, if you go to bank, it's not this downstairs building. They say, come to the 3rd floor or 10th floor. You have to write your will before you go. Or you tell them, bring the money down. For me, I will not visit any of the banks in that because maybe na three they say they go kill it cost one place. As I don't see it, we begin to make provisions for ourselves. Thank God for this day. May God bless all of you that have watched. May God bless all Nigerians everywhere. But remember Uche and Lilia.
Yes.
The blessing of God is for those who deserve
to be blessed. And our heart goes out to those that were affected or are affected by the fire outbreak in UBA Bank. So thank you so much for staying with us, Chris, Maduka, and for that review. And we'll go on a short break right now. When we return, Signature Morning continues. Do stay with us.